Well, you see this name, Lazora Jones. And a lot of us have been with Open Heart. She's not a stranger to us. So glad that we're going to have her amongst us today to speak to us. She is our yoga guru. That's the way I see her. And she's also started many plays around the city. So without further ado, I want you all to welcome Lazora Jones.
I'm just giddy with delight to be here. And that's in place of saying nervous. I'm giddy with delight to be here. And I first want to thank John for allowing me to speak and making this a safe space. And I want to thank him and his wife, Emma, the dynamic duo, for providing a soft space to land. And I'm very full after that song. And I'm in a centering moment, so be with me. And I want to say that this is in honor of my nieces. Angela, you might have to say it. Crystal Michelle Rogers, she was 25. Ariana Kristen Kimball, who was 7, and Taylor Mackenzie Kimball, who was 5. So this is in honor of them. They've left this earthly plane, but since they're leaving, they have provided us with so much more. I have come to a point where I feel that I have to honor their memory. And so, here's to you. Thank you for being you. And I'm going to wing it this morning. I have all the information that I need. But yesterday, I got sick. When I tried to do my outline, and I was going to just really, I've studied, I've gotten all my notes together, and I was going to just, but I got sick. I got a headache, I got a fever, and I actually could not do it. And then last night, I had a panic attack. Because for 2 years, I have been in a state of paralysis, where I could not move. I felt so fearful. And I realized that I am a wounded healer. And we as wounded healers, we're all wounded warriors. And we have to step into it. We have to step into our path with everything we got. Everything we own. Our light and our dark. Our shine and our shadow. Our weaknesses and our strengths. We have to step into it. And to paraphrase that wonderful philosophist, Michael Jackson, if you take the chance and do it, life ain't so bad at all living off the wall. When you decide to step in, when you decide to make that move, you get help. You get help. About a year ago, after one of my yoga classes, a young man came up to me and he said, "Don't I know you?" And I was like, "Really? Is that the line? You're going to use that line?" But then he started to say things to me about me that nobody knew. He said, "But it really seems like I know you." He said, "You're very astute." He said, "You studied a lot, you have all this information." He said, "But you're playing smart." He said, "The world is waiting to hear your voice." He said, "You haven't used it." He said, "It's time for you to play full out." And what do you say when somebody's holding your whole card? They peeked your whole card. They know you in and out. You've never seen them. You've never set eyes on them a day in your life. I was flabbergasted. I had nothing to say but thank you. Because he was an angel offering me a gift, and that's how I accepted it. And so at that point I began on a journey in earnest to find who I was, to undergird those superpowers that I have, to first learn that I had superpowers, as we all have superpowers. And so I was going to strengthen those powers and get to know those powers, get to know who I was. And as I speak to you, all the plans that I had for speaking, everything is out the window now. It's out the window. So I said, okay, I'm gonna go on this journey. I'm gonna decide to use my voice. I'm gonna decide to step away from the wall. I'm gonna decide to come into who I am, to share, because that's what we're all here for. We have to help each other. We are all seemingly individual expressions of the divine. But together we make a whole. We mirror one another. So if I come to you, knees knocking, teeth chattering, to share my gift, to share my gift. I never thought I was worthy of coming before anybody to speak or to teach. And people always have come to me and say, well, you know, you're fabulous. You have this voice and you have all these other things, and you should be teaching. You should be doing something with what you have. And I would shrink into the corner back against the wall and say, no, I don't have any of that. I remember years ago waking up exhausted, just totally out of a fitful sleep, exhausted. And this lightning bolt hit me like it was a hot, fiery pain that shot, and it went around, down my back, and back around, down my legs. That's how long I'd been in labor. I had no idea. I had awakened, and this man in white came to me and said, well, Miss Jones, the baby is in distress. We have to get you turned from one side to the other. And I'm like, do you not see that I'm in labor? Do you not see that I'm in pain? You want me to actually get up and turn over right now in the midst of this? And he said, well, if you don't, then the baby will be in danger. So you have to turn, we have to get you turned from one side to the other. And so after I really got the information and understood what he was saying, I made a decision, okay, yes, I'll turn. And as soon as I made that decision, then I felt these hands at my shoulders, these hands at my back, helping me to turn to the other side. And it wasn't easy to get turned to the other side, but I had to make the decision. So, and then I come back to that point where I'm stepping back in. Because I had years of paralysis, sitting on the couch, sitting on the fence, staying on the wall, not using my superpowers. And we all have those superpowers. But I was so paralyzed. I was like a deer in headlights for years. And then I learned about this thing called cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is when you place your thinking and your mind and your imagination in a place where your behavior, you're not used to behaving that way. And you place yourself in that way long enough that your mind will call on you to start to behave that way. And so I started seeing myself as a teacher. I started seeing myself as this creative genius. I started seeing myself in different ways. I started seeing myself bigger. And I decided to play full out. And by placing myself in cognitive dissonance, my mind just started to say, okay, girlie, it's time to step on in. And that's all we have to do is make the decision to step in. And when we make that decision, those strong hands, those strong hands will come to you and help you. They'll help you. And each one of us has a gift to give. Each one of us has a gift to give that is so unique that nobody else can deliver it. Nobody else. And when you come to know who you are, in that year, I started doing meditation, a different type of meditation suited just for me. I started doing mirror work. And I've always journaled, but I started journaling in a different type of way. And so with the meditation, and meditation helps your body to rid itself of the cortisol and adrenaline, and it helps your brain to be flooded with serotonin and dopamine. And so you can enter this bliss state. And by bliss, I do not mean that, okay, I have no worries, and life is just like so good. It's so good, and like I have no worries, right? And like there's just nothing. No. You feel the feelings. You feel them even deeper, but they process quicker. And bliss simply means that whatever happens, you're able to handle it. And it's all right. And as I say, it's all right. It's gonna be all right. That's what bliss is. And so with my meditation, I'm able to reach that bliss state. I'm able to come to a point with the meditation, with the cognitive dissonance, with the mirror work. I can tell myself, you are magnificent. I've never been able to say that to myself before, never. I can tell myself, you are a creative genius. I can tell myself, girl, I love you. I really, 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 really love you. I've never been able to do that before. Now, mind you, when I first started, my eyes would look back at me and say, yeah, right. You know, every possible negative thing that could come up came up. But I hung with it. I hung with it. And now I can go to the mirror and not say a word. But every cell in my body just jumps up and cheers and says, yes. Yes, you are here. You're finally here for us. You're here for me. You're here for us. And now I know that with each win that I get, with each step that I take, that I celebrate. That I celebrate myself. With each, maybe 3 wins, I get a cupcake. You know, a gluten-free cupcake. Because in the last year, I've lost 15 pounds. I've come to eat a different way. I've come to think a different way. But I think even more than eating right, it's the way you think. Because you can eat the best meal in the world, the healthiest meal in the world, and your thinking can turn into garbage. So just understand that we all have gifts. We all are here for one another. We need to celebrate ourselves, celebrate each other, help each other, and learn that action, when you're in your state of paralysis, you can put yourself into a state of cognitive dissonance and imagine yourself doing that thing that you want to do. Because the greatest nation is what? The imagination. And if you imagine yourself doing that thing, eventually your mind is going to call for you to do that thing. And since you've already done it imaginatively, it'll be easy to step in. Thank you so much.